take off with a larger RC airplane, that generally means that we're putting a whole bunch of money in the air as well. Planes of this size demand more electrical power because of the stronger servos we need to fly, and we often have more of those servos to boot. If we don't have a good system on board to protect our planes from battery failures, we could lose the whole thing to one shorted out cell. And that's exactly why I've installed the SmartFly PowerExpander Sport Plus systems in my giant scale airplanes. I know it might look a little complicated, but I was shocked at how easy this system is to actually set up. The B connectors are for the batteries, and there's one on either side of the board, and that's so we can run two totally separate batteries, and this unit will separate them if one of them happens to go bad. And when we turn the batteries on, these LEDs come on to show us that we have power to everything on the board. The SmartFly board is very small and weighs just about nothing, so we can put it wherever we need it. And on this extra, that let me put the batteries up under the tank, so I got the CG perfect without having to add any ballast. We use these white signal wires that connect the receiver to the board. Those labels at the base of the signal wires correspond to what sockets on the perimeter you actually plug the servos in. This is the part I thought was going to be complicated, but it turns out it's very easy. And once you get everything plugged in, that's all you have to do. The board does the rest by itself. The plus in this unit's name means that it comes with the fiber optic engine kill system. I thought this might mean a solid fiber optic rod that'd be hard to install, but it's flexible and goes right up to this unit here. That's what actually shuts off the power to the ignition. Using the fiber optic cable means that there's no direct electrical connection between the ignition and the receiver that could cause some interference. You get a piece of fiber optic cable about 3 feet long, so you can separate these systems by as much as you want depending on how big your plane is. I put the ignition kill on my gear switch because it was open and because I could assign it to the 1 position. Notice the red light going on and off in the background as I flip the switch. I use the 1 position here because it's just that much easier to accidentally push it to 1 than it is to push it back to 0. So with the SmartFly PowerExpander Sport Plus in my planes, I can spend a lot more time flying and a lot less time worrying about an electrical failure taking the plane out. I still do strange things with my airplanes, but at least I'm doing it on purpose and not trying to recover from a brownout. And all that peace of mind can let me relax while I try things with my airplanes that I probably shouldn't be trying yet. But I built them to try things, I didn't build them to crash, so the SmartFly PowerExpander Sport system is helping me along a bunch. So if you're still worrying about a battery cell taking your plane out, you need to look into the SmartFly PowerExpander Sport Plus or one of their other systems. It's a lot easier to fly when you're not worried about things. Of course, now if I screw up and stick it in the ground, people are going to know it wasn't the batteries.